Social distancing, man. Stay away from me. Actually, if you go to travel...
You're gonna lock me in my room once I get back.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks of quarantine. You gotta stay in the basement. Hello.
You'll just throw your laundry down at me. Do the laundry, basement gnome.
No, but then you would touch my clothes.
Clean them.
You'll have to cook from down there. I'll just give you a pan. That's all you need for cooking.
Yeah.
And you gotta you gotta rub the bottom of it really, really fast.
Just need my eggs.
There's a thing I remember hearing about where they were saying, is it possible to cook a chicken by slapping it? Mm-hmm. And no, you can't. Because it's supposed to be that you impart energy. So if you do it fast enough and hard enough, could you actually cook the chicken with heat? And no, you can't get that hot by just slapping the chicken. But it's an interesting thought.
I'm just not trying hard enough. I'm gonna slap the crap out of that chicken.
Cadence agrees that the conversation is stupid. Y'all are dumbasses.
That's a fair assessment.
There, no, she's just sad. Sad-ish.
He's over there just looking like he doesn't even know where he's at. He's just like, I'm high right now. Definitely just having all the time in the background is like, spacing out hard.
With our blood, indeed with our...
He looks a little distressed.
Well,
bad trip.
He's moving the whole time too, so he's like...
the threat with our valor, our blood,
Perfect.
indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter-offensive against the Hive.
Oh, that
to be fair, the last time the Changelings invaded, he got raped, so... He's not looking forward to a second run. Maybe he is, I don't know.
So, I haven't actually touched this like I thought I was not going to. So, what I needed to do is... Yeah...
Meet the threat with our valor, our blood, indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization...
I'm a little just concerned about how to do angry, because the eyes arc up. So angry usually involves a straight line down, so trying to do that with a rounded eye is always hard. In the show, they usually put it round to the back and angle it straight down, like they actually cut the eye flat, but I can't do that.
Not changeling. Not changeling.
I'm thinking... Oh, I got a couple new songs too. Last one, this one, I think the next one are new.
They from something?
No, I follow... There's 2 Twitch channels, Prime Cronus and it's like Trailer Music World 1. I don't know if there's a number 2. I just follow it anyway. And I just keep adding stuff to my watch list every time they post them, which is every day. And then the other day I decided I had like 35 built up, so I went through them all. I try to add the non-Prime Cronus channel, but this one is from Petrality, and I can't find that person anywhere. They don't have a channel. They had a channel, but the only version of this song was on this Prime Cronus channel. They didn't have it on their. It's weird. Ugh. Maybe a little loud though. Nah, this should be better. Actually, wait. I think I can keep it there and then just drop it down.
I can't see the picture, but that totally looks like the kid from the movie Legend.
That? Mm-hmm. Actually, the reason I like it is that this song kind of has what I would think is a mix between like epic music and like 80s epic music. Yeah. Like it's kind of a weird, cool mix. So I feel the pictures works because that definitely feels 80s.
Well, Legend was a very 80s movie.
Yeah. But I've been finding, because this playlist now is just hugely long. I mean, this isn't even letting me load at all. It's like 250 long. So I've been listening to so many different songs, and there's so many people out there that make music now that I'm finding that I can still find something that I used to think was really good, but I'm just like, because to me it's like copy-paste of everything else that's out there. It's other people just taking the things that work and then making a slight variation of it. I'm liking ones like this where it's different. It's way out there. It's something like experimental and new. It's just, it's neat. That, and I've been really liking, found some good epic music people look for. DTD music is glorious. They have some really, really good songs. Atom Music Audio, this is actually the one that's playing here. Alexa Ray is in a lot of theirs, and she has a beautiful voice, and all their songs are just really, really good. I added I think some recently because at that one, and then there's another one. See, I gotta go through some of these, get rid of trailer music, whatever, but I have a couple others that are on this list. But she sounds a lot like Starlight Glimmer to me, so. Ivan Torrent's also a good one. There's one, it's a guy that does just piano music. I think it might be Philip Beeson, but I can't confirm. I think it is, but he's just got a couple songs. But they're all, it might not be, because I think it's all piano, just nothing but piano.
Before I joined the Pony fandom, all I listened to was like 60s through 80s, like old rock. That's all I listened to, because it's all that played on the radio, was that and country.
Oh.
That was it. So that's what I listened to. And it was actually when I started watching like PMVs and crap made by like Pony fandom people, I started discovering new music. Like, I guess it's not new anymore, but at the time it was like Porter Robinson and Madeon and just a bunch of other artists. And I discovered a whole new world of music and kind of fell in love with like techno music there for a while.
I jump around all over the place. I have a play because from working in SFM, I've gotten to this habit of listening to the same audio and over 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 again. So in my free time, I listen to the same songs over and over and over again. So, because it's like sometimes if you find a brand new song that you really like, you just tend to listen to that one a lot. Mm-hmm. So I have a playlist that I keep of, and I never try to go above 4 to 5 songs, well, 5 to 6 maybe, to where it's only songs that if it comes on, I'm like, yes. So I'll keep those 5 or 6 in rotation, and then when I find a new one, I have to go to that list and take one off. So then I'm not doing the same, otherwise I'll just put the same song on repeat for 8 hours. So, especially if I'm going to work on a video for something, I'll listen to like a Remembrance. I had this song on repeat for like a month. Just trying to I needed every note to be ingrained in my brain. So I'm playing out shots, I know exactly. I'm like, oh, I know at this song there's a low bit here, and I have to try to time it. So
I'm super slow to put new songs to my playlist, and I'm super slow to take them off. I don't take a song off my playlist until I've heard it so much I start hating it when it comes on.
It's just because I tend to listen to the same songs on repeat that I had to do that. Because if I make too long of a list, I'll eventually just get to one song and then I'll just keep going back. I'll keep telling it, go back. And so if I keep it down to that small of a list, I know I'll come back to it soon and all the rest are good. So this list that I have that for the stream is different because it's playing in the background. But I still have, I think one of them that's on here, I do have on, I think, is it, no, it changed stock and then it moved. I think it was Persistence of Hope. I do have on that list of ones on repeat. Where'd you go? See, it changed song and then it moved and now I'm lost.
Gone forever.
And I love it because it's different. And that's, like I said, it's just what I love hearing. Is it this one? I have to jump ahead to make sure. Nah.
But it's kind of crazy going back and thinking about how many songs I love that I discovered because of My Little Pony. PMVs.
Oh, yeah. I don't actually have much for pony songs that I maintain anymore. John Kenza I have on a lot of stuff. Orchestral Design I have, I think, one or two of. And there's also like a Yug something. I can't remember. I'd have to go back a ways. Apparently it's not going to want to do that.
I mean, there's always more music coming out, but it doesn't get the attention it used to get.
No.
New stuff.
Let's get you here. So I want to make sure I get that done here. So I need to round the eyebrows here. That was it. But yeah, it's what I've been finding it is I just find a genre I like, and if you really dig, you can start narrowing down because every genre has a subgenre, which is a subgenre, and so like if you find exactly what you like, there's probably some like super narrow margin that fits into, and so that's what I was trying to find for some things. That's why like I used to listen to a lot of hardcore rock, but then I realized that what I really liked was metalcore, and so I shifted from that into metalcore.
I like songs that are somewhat relaxing.
It depends on my mood.
It's about the tone. My mood is always I'm tired. I want to listen to something relaxing.
That just puts me to sleep.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's a good thing.
My current... Well, let me load up a second playlist. My current repeat list is... I have 8 on here. I gotta clean this out.
Did you name it Pure Motivation? Because
it's music that keeps me going. So...
If I had this list, I would be like, songs not to die to.
No, it's if I need to get stuff done, these are the songs that keep me focused. And there's also, I wanted to make a playlist of the songs that I used to listen to when I was working on stuff on repeat, those single songs, because when I hear them, my brain immediately goes into tunnel mode, because that's what I was used to doing with it. There's one from Chainsmokers that's that way. There's a different... electronic song is that I have a couple that are with it, but no, like on here I have Jimmy Eats World Sweetness is one of my favorite songs. It's an older song, but it's great. Star Set Halo, I actually had a plan for a video for the last minute of it that I thought about making, probably will never do it. Brave Shine's great, that's what I made Australia from. John Kenna's Heartfire is my favorite song from him. One of the My Hero Academia intro songs is great. I've added Modern Age by Anne Boleyn recently on here, and that song is glorious. And then two of the ones that are on the normal list here, I have End of Silence, Entropy. That's another... I don't know if it's made by Atom Music, but it has Alexa Ray in it again. And this one I kind of had an idea for a video, just don't know if I'll ever do it. And then DTD Music, Fleeting Secrets, that's the one I was thinking of. Let's see if I can jump to that. I don't want to play it on this side because it's going to unlock it. There it is. Oh, it's under the one I was looking at. It's just very different. It actually feels pony-esque because of the way that they use voice.
Not changeling.
And you get to listen to nothing. And actually nobody does because apparently it's loading.
Not changeling.
Broke the internet.
So when she does her, I want her to be angry, but I don't want her to. I want her eyebrow to arc a little bit around it, so it is rounded. So I'm just gonna add a little more surprise to it.
Not changeling. Rules Equestria now and always.
Okay, so I think this is the part I've kind of went and edited. Oh, come on. Will it keep playing? Good. So I have to. I think these have the. Okay, so only. So these ones. So I only have it done for a second pass through here. So this is where I need to jump to, because this is where I can actually follow in the eyes. I think I might actually have the eyebrows jump up a little bit more here. So I want to do left. So now I gotta drop these down. I know they're clipping, but I am ignoring it for now because I can easily pull it out outside the body. The hardest part is ensuring that it's all animated correctly. So if anything, if I could, well, I could make her semi-transparent, but then I might go too far out. The reason I want to do both these at the same time is so I can time this better. So her eyes shut right here. I'm going to move that there. And their eyes don't start closing till about here. Oh, that's really quick. Oh, that is really quick. And then they start opening here. And they finish opening there. In this period, though, the eyes are... Yeah, they include surprise. If anything, they should be down with anger a little bit. Just because it helps create that little squint feeling. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll remove some of the surprise, but start the sadness. And actually, to me, for this blink... this is one that I would actually probably meld the eyebrow back into the eye. It's just that is tough. So it means, I'll give it a shot here. So it means at this point, right here, and at this point right here, starting from there to there, go to overwrite, and we are going to move each of these individually. Because I need to position these just right. So And I swapped to overwrite because I want to make sure that it ignores all other previous animation and just becomes what I am making it do right now, which is put it in position. So I'm going to just want to match it right now, and then when it hits that point, I can then just quickly pull it into the eye and to get rid of it visually, but I want to make sure it's on the outside during that time. This side actually doesn't really matter. No, actually this side matters most.
Celestia looks like a narwhal.
She's swimming in the ocean.
She's the Jedi of the Sea.
Do you know the song?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody knows the song.
Weeble stuff is great. It's like classic internet.
Okay. Might be... See, that moves too quick. But there's no really way to do it without just... If I don't do that... Sometimes it works, this time it's not going to. So we're going to grab the wrong one there. There we go. So if I instead go to like oh, toasty.
It is
oh, that actually looks pretty good there. I like that. But when she hits the top part, we're gonna move it up a little bit more. Wait. I have to do the other side.
Too bad you can't do them both simultaneously.
You can, but the problem is any motion I do isn't mirrored. It's still the same. So if I move left and right, they'll move left and right. So one will go into the head, the other one will go out of the head. If mirroring would be where it actually would pull in together, but they don't work that way. They're individual models.
They're just kind of free floating.
Yeah. So this is there. Oh yeah, they both have the same emotion on them because that is tied together. That's why I was.
Shows like she's like singing and she's like singing that deep part. She's like,
that's why when I go to move them, I'll go and select the left eyebrow so I can see where it's positioned. Then I'll go to right. I can see where that is. Then I'll go back and select left, which is the back one, and move it to match up so they're about on top of each other. That way, because they're on top of each other, if I move them, they should be moving perpendicular to her head. Mm-hmm. It should be. That's where I start getting the clipping and some of those other issues. So that I have to go fix. But that seems. I think what I want to do here is with these, I'm gonna run that last little part of her eyes coming down a little bit. Yeah, that works. Because this gives because what it's doing now is it kind of hits this point, but then it keeps going a little bit lower afterwards, which gives the impression that she is squeezing her eyes shut. Because if you just close your eyes and they squeeze, it brings your eyebrow down. And that actually gives kind of a nice feeling of that. Okay, and then here I want to have the eyebrows balanced a little bit. So here I'm going to go left, right, and then left again. So right about there. And I can't use this because if I use this, I'm using it based on the universal positioning, which might not be the same. So I should be doing rotation off the light blue and positioning off of this, which I hate using positioning off this. It's not, at least, usually misbehaves.
lives. Very lives.
What is the? This is
Pizza party.
This is Princess.
They're having.
She actually kind of looks like an alien. No, this is. I am doing a portion of a larger project for Prince, whatever, and I don't know how to detail it. So, but it's taking this speech from Starship Troopers by the El Presidente or whatever it is when they do those little advertisement segments of the fascist propaganda, and so it's just trying to match that out of shot for shot. And he had full custom audio made for it, so everything for it matches. You might know this part. Oh, the audio's...
the part where Barry punches
Oh,
the
yeah,
door.
ignore that.
No, she's adorable. Don't ignore Barry punch.
Then, anger.
She's cute.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
In Manhattan, the equestrian...
So it's the whole audio for this one section is there, and my only part right now is to work on this. There is a separate save file I have for the audience because of how expansive they can be, and I have to do separate renders. So they are actually all done for these chairs, and then the rest of them are pretty easy from there. But to make this file easier, I've made this a separate one for the audience. So when I render, I'm going to render out in 4 pieces: audience 1, audience 2, audience 3, and then 4th one for the front, and then I'm just going to mask it all together because there's no way I can put that many ponies on the screen at once. I think I determined that this is 100, which means this is 100 because I knew they were even, and then this is like 80. So there'd be, with the people up here and all them in the background, it'd be like 300 ponies. Yeah, no.
It's still not enough.
I mean, we could just fill up the whole room. Just like this goes back all the way to there.
I told you I want a pony avalanche. I just want ponies just like
Used to have
cover
physics.
a town.
Well, it used to have physics, but the ponies didn't work the greatest because it was like Gmod type stuff where the bones didn't like. There's no armature, so if a bone needs to bend, it doesn't know when not to bend on ponies. So it knows that it can rotate off a point, but it doesn't know that an elbow doesn't go the other way.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Just like somebody like pointing up avalanche, and there's just a bunch of ponies just flopping all over the place. They roll down the hill.
All bones going 360 degrees from there.
They're clearly breaking everything, but it's fine because they're happy. They're all smiling.
Yeah, but
They're all high. As
you
kites.
and you would just be going to be at the bottom.
Yes.
You do know that each one of them probably weighs like 150, 200 pounds.
It would be a wonderful way to die.
But all you would hear is cracking bones, and there would be like limbs coming off and blood everywhere.
That's what they'd be smiling.
Oh, the ponanity. Oh,
they'd be
because
going-
they're dead.
And they'd be going like, yeah. It'd be adorable.
Well, it's similar to Man in the High Castle in terms that degree, but it's from Starship Troopers. So we have the full bit of her that's with the lights on. It just runs better with the lights off. Whole speech done.
Thread with our valor, our blood, indeed with our
Really,
Just working on the eyebrows.
to ensure that pony civilization,
Yeah.
not changeling,
Eyebrows
rules
are so
Equestria
pretty
now
rough.
and always.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plans
you're
for a
almost
counteroffensive
done.
against the
You
Hive,
don't really need to work on
source of the
eyebrows.
changeling invasion that...
Not really, but it's a funny face. Like you say what? She's like, yeah, they're good. The fuck you say?
Honestly, you
My mom? No,
don't talk about her.
no. Soon. That's kind of creepy, actually. But But yeah, it's going to be. When's the last time I did a poster? Actually, it has been years. I was actually looking at that recently because I realized that I don't do anything on DeviantArt anymore. And if you look at it, the last picture I did was this one, and that was posted in 2018.
I remember that. It was very cute.
But mainly because I just kind of got focused on
the Twilight video.
On doing. It's normally I like doing those, like a break from stuff to do something small. And Rathlos kind of took up that mantle, and that started at the beginning of 2019. So I didn't really work. I don't think I did too much on the stream with him for a while, but
so blame Rathlos is the thing to take.
But even that was a couple months in, because I think I was making these every couple months. Well, that one I didn't stream. This one I did. And that was August 2018, so that was a couple months prior. Yeah, I like doing pictures. It's you're able to optimize a shot in time, which is pretty fun. But I just haven't gotten around to it. The only other thing I posted on DeviantArt since then was that the GIF of that project I did for Equestria Narrator, and that was even 2018 as well. So I haven't actually posted a single thing on DA for over a year and a half. So, yeah. I have stuff I could post. I mean, I could put Rathlos stuff on there if I wanted, but if you build a medium that is very focused on a single type of thing and then suddenly you post something else, you're usually going to lose people more than gain. So I would actually lose followers slower if I didn't post anything for Rathlos. If I cared about that, anyway. Which I kind of don't, but
then you kind of do.
Well, because I think I hit 10,000 followers on DA. 4 years ago, or something like that, and I'm at 11,000 now. So in like 3 years, I gained 10,000, and in 4 more, I gained 1,000.
That's more than most people get.
Yeah, I know, but I don't care about that as much, but still. The only thing I've been posting lately is if you go to my journals, like how do I see my journals? What is with this new UI? This is confusing. Well, whatever. If you just go to my journals, there's all it is stream. I love Vicenza. Thank you for the bits, Ulu.
Ulu?
That's what he said.
No.
Valor, our blood.
Okay, where was I at with these eyebrows?
Bronies are not furries.
They're diet furries.
Ensure that pony
I don't even know if they're diet furries. They're just like furries with a very refined taste.
I don't think all furries have a specific taste. They're a sub within the fandom, but those are all still under the main. They're not. They don't identify differently and have specific conventions for giraffes or something. So
that'd be weird, unless there was a show about giraffes. That's what the giraffe furries need, is a show about giraffes, and they can differentiate themselves.
They used to have commercials with giraffes,
well, Toys
but
R
then
Us.
they went out of business.
They're gonna be the Toys R Us furries.
Yeah.
Be honest though, I have no interest in like horses. Outside pony.
Very lives.
I don't really have any interest in that. Still though, that's kind of a horse. I like that.
Civilization.
Celestia is like supposed to be princess of the ponies, but she's clearly a horse. Don't let anybody know.
Wait, you say clearly she's a horse, but keep it a secret.
Yes. Yes.
There was
don't let anyone know. Anyone who says otherwise is slander.
There was this. I was watching somebody do a play of Tropico, or like a bridge version of it, and they had one person that like messaged him. They're like, I have something for to tell you that is very much a secret, or I have a request to make, and you have to keep it a secret. And the request is, I need corn. It was like, that's not a secret.
You don't understand.
To ensure
No one must know my need for corn.
It's like, yeah, it's clear that she's a horse. But don't tell anybody. It might be clear,
Yes,
but it's very important that you
I
still
feel
don't
like
tell.
that would be a thing. Is like anybody who calls Celestia a horse in the Pony Kingdom is immediately like shunned. Like, no, she is a pony princess. No horses
to
here.
ensure that
She's just a really tall pony. He's like, well, that makes her a horse. No.
See, I'm going to do kind of like I did before with the other one. I'm going to have this go a little bit lower than I actually want. But then I'm going to round the end of it, which will flatten or increase the size, how far it goes down at the beginning. And then have it...
to ensure that
Okay, so this needs to go... Oh, now they're way off again.
She's what? She's a Pokemon.
She's a Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh, she is!
Evolved.
What was the name of that? There's a Pokemon.
Is there
No, there was,
Rapidash? Or...
It was from Sun and Moon or Sword. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know anything past Red or Blue.
Those were in the 90s.
Yeah, that's the last ones I played. I'm an old man.
My eyebrows doing that.
I never played
thing when
anything past Red and Blue.
You know what? Can I? I'm just gonna do this. I need to.
to ensure that
I did play
that
Pokemon Stadium for the N64, and you could import your Pokemon from Red and Blue.
Oh shit! I'm still overwriting.
Which was pretty cool.
Like, that's why that was not behaving. Well, it's still gonna not behave in that regard, but
to ensure that
Well, I remember Ponyta and Rapidash because they were in the Red and
to
Blue.
ensure that
But he's saying that the pony he's thinking of is in the sun.
yeah, it was
Pokemon Celestia.
this is people
Celestia.
making Celestia looking
It's like,
Celestila. Wait,
is that
no, that's
the flying steel Pokemon?
it's just somebody with a similar name. No, there was there's an actual Pokemon and it just looks like, see, there we go. Oh, that's from Two Snacks, but no, there's one that, oh, there it is.
Oh,
Oh, that's the wrong one.
wasn't that
Where'd
like
it
a
go?
special edition Pokemon or something?
Yeah, it's that one.
Isn't that just like
I
a?
love the look on her face.
She's like, oh no, who have found my? Oh, so that is a Ponyta. It's just a certain type of pony.
Does it say what the name is? No.
Oh,
from
sorry,
Dr.
I just
Brew.
put the name up.
Galar Rapidash. Okay.
Ponyta. So it's a Ponyta with fancy rainbow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it's very much her colors.
to ensure that
Okay, so this does need to be closed again. Can I cheat this?
He's all having a bunch of kids.
I'm gonna say put the eyebrows in this position.
that
Oh, why did you not rotate? Apparently that doesn't work. That's stupid. Okay, so this needs to be shaded that way. I read it before, ignore that they're hard to see. Or that they kind of clip. They will be fixed. So she goes up a lot faster than it did. This is one reason I love the floating modification layer. So I just did the change in what kind of felt like the location. And the reason I'm doing both at once is because I can fully manipulate the timing now. since I did that, so I can now look at it and say, that timing's fine. But now I needed to move to starting right here, so I'm just going to go shoot. And then finishing, like right here. And I needed to do it faster at the beginning. Probably go one more quicker.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could animate this in VR?
No.
Just grab their heads, like literally, and move it. Just
But-
like grab their mouth and go.
Well, that's like saying, would you be better at playing a first-person shooter with a mouse or in VR?
I'm not saying it would be better. I'm just saying it would be weird and cool.
It sounds like you just want to do really creepy things.
No, why'd you go there? I just thought it would be interesting because of the question he was asking.
Well, I'm pretty sure Source 2 is going to be going to have much more VR support than most other engines because of Valve. But what is it like animating 3D on a 2D screen?
How else would you do it?
No, I think it's fine because you're animating in a 3D environment, but in the end, all that people I like your all that people actually see is still a 2D screen. So I'm able to play around in 3D, the only thing I actually have to worry about from a final product perspective is what is within this box here. So I'm still playing with a 2D in a 2D environment in that regard. And I don't think it's a problem at all. Like, it's intuitive. I think it's easier to me to do this than to work in any like a 2D environment because this is I can relate to, I guess, but in 2D I just can't draw or do anything. So any of the stuff that requires 2D stuff, my brain just can't get itself around. So she's dizzy.
She's dizzy horse. She's dizzy.
For that pony civilization.
So
Sure that
I think when she does the or she goes in this position, I'm gonna have her actually go a little angry because I feel like that should be like a squint.
for that ponies.
I'm gonna have that kind of start a little later into it.
That ponies. That ponies. That ponies. That.
And I'm also see if this works. So left, right, left. See if I turn this down a little bit.
That ponies. That ponies.
Yeah, that works good. Well, actually, okay, so one thing that if you ever use SFM that gets into a big habit of is, like right now I'm rotating from the camera's position, but if you ever hold Alt, it will rotate the camera around the point that you're looking at. Not 100%. If it's over here, it'll try to rotate it around a circle that's somewhere in that screen range. I think it's trying to see what's the difference between it and the center of the screen. So if I put that towards the center, it's pretty close. So if I put that here, yeah, it's trying to like figure something out. But I find that when I'm working on something, I tend to work more with the rotation than I do like this, or freely moving. So like if I need to get around, say I'm working on the head, and then I say like, oh, I want to work on the tail, I'll actually go like this and move myself there because I find it quicker and easier. If I want to go back to the head, I'll just look up and turn it around. So it's pretty convenient because this is intuitive. Plus, I get motion sick really, really easy, so it's a lot easier on me if I do motion that's around a central focus point.
But they're just like, no, she's sleeping. I don't know. I like her other model better. No, she got into the drugs. Oh. Oh, Celestia, why you say these things? Oh no. Yes. I'm just like, ooh, I'll bite that.
6
She's a twilight corn.
So this is showing the path that the eyebrows take through space.
It's all over the place.
But I love that you can see it comes from here. Oh, that's at the end. But it only shows whatever time frame you're looking at. So if I grab this, you can see it actually expanding. But it actually really comes in handy when I'm trying to manipulate physics. So some of the TF2 models have the pre-made explosions, and I'm trying to figure out where the hell these things go. I'll select the rock and select all of time, and I can see this line, and I can be like, oh, well, that's why during this point it's way over in here, and so I can just like select, I can narrow it down until I find that little bit of animation and say like, okay, in this part, and then I can just like round it, and it will smooth out that area between them. Pretty convenient. Oh, you know what? I also thought, oh, I don't think I can see it.
You must meet, not changeling.
I forgot her wings.
You forgot Celestia's wings? What do you gotta do with her wings?
I have to animate them.
I mean, you don't, but you're going to.
If it was an older model that only had wing closed, I would not animate them. Because all I'd be able to do is this. But what comes in handy is whenever they're surprised, you just you do this. Well, no, actually, I have to do there, like this, and that helps give a sense of tension. Like when it's like if you clench. It's their idea because their wings are going to pull up, and then when they're sad or relaxed, the wings go down. So, but I only have to do a couple seconds of it because you don't see the wings for any part other than right here. So I only have to do a very, very minor motion. But, I mean, yep, the burb wings. I gotta... To me, anything you can make move on the model just adds detail. So if I have the ability to move wings, even if it's just up and down or a little bit to the sides, it adds detail and life to the model. It's one of the reasons I had made mention that her hair, if you watch the front hair, it does move now. When I first got this model, because it was custom made for this video, it didn't have bones. It only had one at the very, very end here, and considering everything else that was moving, it seemed weird. Like everything else is moving fluidly, but this one thing that you probably think didn't. And at that point, it actually would look better to just lock all the hair, because then it wouldn't stand out as a single object. Well, they actually went and updated the model and added it. So, so now it moves, which is great. I love hair physics. Don't forget your glasses. To me, hair, whether it's on the back of the head or the tail, and the wings, are to me almost like if I had to say importance of what you animate and put detail and time into. I'm always going to say if there's talking, the mouth, but otherwise the eyes are going to be number one or number two. Eyes, mouth, and then hair and hair, tail, and wings, because everything else can be actually pretty stiff, and you can get away with it. But if you mess up, but if everything feels static, they just feel overly static. But it's one of the reasons that in the beginning here, in the actual video, it's stationary. Here, camera doesn't move, but in this, there's an ever so slight movement. And the reason for this is because you can kind of see, actually I don't know how it'll work on the stream, but you can just see here like the pixels as they start to adjust. You can kind of crosses here. It won't look that way in the final, but it's showing that there is motion. And if I don't have camera movement at all, every single pixel on every single edge here will be unmoving. So you could zoom in on a part of the video at that point and you would see zero motion. If it was a low compression, it might, or if it's highly compressed, it might show some motion just because of compression problems. But normally it won't move at all. It'll be 100% stationary, but that goes the same with characters and the actors that are in there. So if you have somebody that has say maybe their head moving and maybe and nothing else, if the camera's not moving too, you can see the fact that nothing else on them is moving because it is so sharp in those edges, and you can just see that there's no pixels changing position. So to me, I like moving the camera ever so slightly because it hides a lot of that. It makes everything else harder to tell if it's not moving because everything else is moving around it. It doesn't mean don't move things. It doesn't mean I'm going to just make something stationary, but it's for that reason that, like, because of how this camera is moving, and he's just doing minimal motion. And some of them, like, well, she's not needed right now, but it's why I could do simpler motions being less work and get away with it because I'm just moving the camera. So that's why I think in the final for the other one there was no camera motion at all, or in the original. So I added a little bit here. In here I'm also doing a zoom in. This is to keep consistency. So this camera is zooming in towards her. So this camera also continues zooming out forward. I don't want to suddenly change direction. In the original it zoomed in, so I just did that and kept it moving forward. And then after she's done talking, I do pull it backwards a little bit, but that's because the camera goes backwards, so it's a natural progression. It's just one of those tricks to help stuff look better. It's just slight motion. There's a ton of little tips for increasing the details and stuff easily. Like one of them is every time somebody goes to blink, drop the eyes down. So like if you see him, his eyes actually go down for a sec. His eyes are weird when they are because the male models kind of clip a little bit the eyes like that. It won't look like that in final, but his eyes kind of go down a little bit. Celestia, if you watch her eyes, also go down with the eyes, so it actually lifts up. So that adds a lot of life, because if you don't do that, when the eyes start closing, because the top of these eyes are much larger than the bottom, meaning that the top portion moves farther than the bottom, you're going to be left with more white space at the end, which is not realistic. When your eyes close, and actually if you just look around, your eyelids try to maintain as much of this area evenly around your pupil. So it's the same thing here of when they go to blink, I'm going to try to maintain that. I think I watched a tutorial about that, which was a T of 2 characters, which their eyes work a little differently, but their eyes actually, if you move up and down with the eye, it'll actually adjust the eyelids with it, which is pretty neat. See other little details. Reactionary secondary animations, so like whenever so when she says threat with confidence, I just have the tail bounce up. I don't have an ability to edit it past this or like back here, so I just kind of did that point. From the angle that this is at, you can barely see it, so I didn't bother with putting a lot of extra detail into it. The main thing was about having it bounce. So having it where she says lives and has the tail go up, Anytime she's saying stuff, sad stuff, it goes down.
Blood, indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
Even the hair, like you can. I don't even like how this is kind of like not following gravity. But again, with the 3D to 2D comparison, all that matters is what's on here. So as long as it looks fine here, I don't care, and it looks fine there. I was supposed to do it for eyebrow then.
That pony civilization, not
There we go, right here.
that ponies to ensure that pony civilization to ensure that pony civilization the civilization.
Alright, see you later, Toasty. Thanks for coming by.
Civilization. 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 Not changeling. Civilization. Civilization.
Okay, I'm gonna skip over that. I do want to touch that. I want a little bit more. I'm gonna skip it because I want to play with this area, but I need to know my boundaries.
Not changeling civilization, not civilization.
Okay, now I know the area to play with here, so so these ones I feel like they need to be a little bit more in the angry position.
Not changeling civilization, not changeling.
No, maybe I should keep it back because he's talking about pony civilization of this, not changelings.
Pony civilization, not civilization.
I wonder if this should be, instead of angry, go like. Go to a little bit sad. That might actually work. So we're gonna put ourselves in position for those.
Not changeling civilization, not changeling. That pony civilization, not civilization, not changeling. Lives to ensure that pony civilization. The threat with our valor, our blood. blood, indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now.
Just feel like they're moving a lot.
To ensure that very lives,
I think I might actually
our blood,
see like
our blood,
that'd be like what I want to do.
blood,
They don't go down that much.
our blood, red with our valor, our blood, indeed with our very lives.
Because I think what it's doing is it creates this feeling of squinting all the time. And I don't want that. So I'm actually going to go here, and if I just round it, it will remove some of that emphasis.
Very lives, with our very lives.
Actually, that one might be okay.
Lives, to ensure that.
This one, though, I think this needs to be rounded. I think it's a little bit.
To ensure that pony. To ensure that.
And actually, this one just needs to have. Playhead. It needs to be flattened out to what it begins with. Yeah.
To ensure that ponies lives. To ensure.
Okay, this does also need to be rounded. Just remove some of that harshness.
Lives, to ensure that pony civilization.
This would also be not a squint one.
Civilization. That pony civilization.
That feels better. So she's not constantly like jamming her eyes down to make it work.
Very lives.
Even this, I think, could be reduced just by a little bit.
With our very lives, to ensure our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not change. Not changeling. Rules Equestria. Changeling. Not changeling. Not changeling.
She got kind of funny face. Oh. Oh. So the eyebrows for this need to go down just a little bit.
Changeling.
That's fine, I just need to drop it a bit more.
Changeling. Not changeling. Changeling. Rules a question. Rules Equestria. And now, Equestria. Rules Equestrian.
So this, I don't think I added what I wanted here. So I think, well, when she goes down into this position, I'm gonna have her get into an angrier.
Rules equestrian. Rules equestrian.
But this will also be rotated. To more anger.
Rules equestrian. Rules equestrian. Rules equestrian. And now, rules equestrian.
You know, I think this is going to be harder motion to do. I want to... move it there. I'm going to have to fix that later. Actually, I can probably fix it a little bit now. Because they move forward, I have to pull them in a little bit more. These eyebrows aren't really built for the shape of her head, and technically during anger, they probably should be rotated in a little bit to match the shape of the head, but I'll worry about that later.
Rules equestrian now. Rules equestrian now.
And I'm not even sure how, like, I'm doing all this from the side, but how is it going to look from the front? I don't know.
Now.
Okay, so when her eyes squint back down here, they need to also come back down with her. See, this is why I hate eyebrows. It's so much nitpicky work. It'd be different, I think, if they were all like built in and mirrored. But nope.
Now and always. Yes. Now and now and always. And always. always, always, now and always. Rules Equestria now. Rules Equestria. Equestria. Rules Equestria.
Alright, let's go down again here too.
Rules Equestria now. Rules Equestria now and always. Changeling. Rules Equestria now and always.
So after, when she does her blink after that, I want to have her calm down because she needs some alcohol. Okay, let's do that.
Always. Always. And always. Always.
I think I'm just going to turn them down a little bit more. I don't think I need to move forward.
Always. And always.
Oof. They're really floaty back there, but that's fine. I can fix that later.
Always.
They floaty all together.
Always.
Yeah, that's easy to fix.
Always.
Okay, after she's done with her thing. Well, it already kind of does, so okay, that's fine. I'm gonna have her eyebrows. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, glasses.
I remember.
Because I said something.
Yes, because I started to leave without him.
You did?
Yeah, and then I'm like, he told me. He told me to remember.
Well, if you didn't, I was just gonna give you shit.
Yes, you would. I'll forget again, don't you worry. Ugh. How come the eyebrows?
Get in there.
A nap is everything.
I think I'm gonna make it feel like a squint on this.
Deep thought.
Okay. I'm gonna round that out again.
always.
Okay, so I think I want to take the angry brow, and we're going to reduce that quicker.
Her Highness Princess Celestia.
So, got most of it done. Oh, what was that?
Yeah, I saw it too.
To ensure.
Oh, I think.
Her head absorbed part of her eyebrow.
Well, I've brought up like 100 times that I don't worry about that right now. I'm worried about position. If I'm going to go through and do position and then readjust every little thing as I go through, I'm never going to get done. Easier to start at the high level, skim off the top, and then go down a level and skim off some more.
Never gonna get to the part where she stops mid-speech to see if her tongue can touch the tip of her nose. That would be really cool.
You do know that most of the times when you ask that kind of stuff, I make it horrifying.
You do, because you're evil. But I imagine it as being adorable.
Because I can load in Rathalos and see what they look like with his tongue.
Oh, gross.
I did do that once for Rathian. She didn't have any bones for her tongue, so I just hid her tongue and then used Rathalos' tongue coming out of her mouth.
Make her pant like a doggy.
It worked. So, and then she was a pup.
Yes.
Indeed, with our
Very
very
ugly
lives.
puppy.
With our very lives.
Okay, well, I will go through and do the refinement then for you, Michael.
Just for me.
So the main thing is,
Must meet
I'm going to have a lot of points where the eyebrow is... I'm actually going to make a new camera.
Oh boy.
Hmm?
Said, oh boy.
Come on.
Is it crashing on you or something?
Oh. I was not in the shot. I was off by one frame. No, so I need to determine when this eyebrow is not correctly connected. So we're going to do this. That was Cadence's head. I want Cadence's head. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't see enough motion. Alright, now it's going to lock to her head.
with our valor.
So I can see when I need to adjust it. So the beginning here,
Our valor.
until here, I need to have the eyebrow rotated. Like this, and moved in a little bit, I think. I'd rather have it floating on the back side a little bit. Do that.
Meet the thread with
Okay, definitely clipping in there, so I wonder if I...
thread with our valor. Thread with our with our valor. Our blood. Indeed.
Ooh, it gets rough right there.
Blood.
Sick.
It's eyebrow cam. All the eyebrow, all the time.
To do what?
Said it's eyebrow cam. It's all the eyebrow, all the time.
Yeah.
For those eyebrow aficionados.
Valor. Our blood.
So I'm just trying to straighten it so it's even, but then when it gets to here, she takes on I believe that's surprise. Yeah. So surprise is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to see when this surprise kicks in. Surprise kicks in from here through here to there to there. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to adjust it for the whole thing. There we go. So for surprise, I'm going to have to actually rotate it and spin it out like that.
Indeed.
But then from here to here, it's kind of, you know, floating. Because everybody's head is a little differently shaped. So from, so it needs to go faster, or is that slower? Oops. Oh, because I have that selected. So definitely want it there. Okay, that's fixed on that. But now I got more clipping. So in this time frame, I need to have it. And the one reason I hate eyebrows is, for one, having to do this if you really want to make it work well, and also because a lot of these little motions, you can start to see these little like juddering areas, it starts creating a lot of little micro wiggles, and it can be noticeable. I think it's working out as it is. I gotta go back to eyebrow cam. Okay, so from here to here, it's being eaten again. And I want to just make it so that it kind of just barely pokes out, because it's a flat on a round surface. So if I pull it out too much, it's going to start popping out in the back there. So I want to have it be just enough.
Lives to ensure that.
Okay, so this is clipping. Clipping, I don't need to be in eyebrow cam. So from here to here, I'll just grab some time around that. Sure, does that work?
To ensure that ponies.
Got so much clipping, and this is only one eyebrow.
Curse the eyebrow.
No, yes, curse the eyebrow. Well, actually, you know what? I don't need to worry about grabbing it right when it starts clipping. I have to. It's the main area is about when it starts, or when it hits its peaks, and then you drag this to where it's starting, and then that works. I had that last one done a little wrong, but it's fine. So this one, it stops clipping right about here. So then I can adjust this, and I want to try to figure out like the angle of the head, which I think is about here. This is going to be messy because it's angled opposite. You see here, it's kind of popping up here. Is that going to look weird? I don't know, because I don't have camera anymore. Oh, from that angle it doesn't matter. Good. It's if you're looking from this angle that you can see when it's floating. So if it's from the exact side, then I'm perfectly fine. How's the clipping? Oof, gets really close at the beginning here. So we just tell it at this point. There we go. Still a little fat in the back at this point.
Not changeling. Rules equestrian. Now.
I think if I just rotated at this point. Yeah. So I'm just going to grab all the time, and I'm just going to rotate it out a little bit, and that might solve a lot of the clipping. Which makes sense, because when I'm moving it before, that cat always goes to that tree and just claws that tree. It's always about this time. I think he goes outside, then he just goes. Rawr. Sorry, that was just look over
There's
his
a kitty.
and the stupid cat. No, he is adorable.
He's looking at you.
Looks kind of like.
He heard what you said.
No, he always does that. He does that and then he looks this direction.
So gotta eat the grass.
I would show you, but you can't see him.
There's cat videos through this window. We're watching them.
There's I have a window right here, and there's kitty. Can you see him? No, I don't think I can see. He's right
Just
there.
I'm just imagining you got kitty on your stream, and your stream view count just shoots up like 5,000 people. And they're like,
Hashtag kitty.
kitties. Because they own the internet. We own this to each other.
Well, I like slow-mo guys, because they do all their stuff in a group, but with the two of them, but they went through their backlog of videos, so they don't. Now he put out a recent one where he's just like, yeah, here's some slow-mo on my cat, and so he has slow-mo of the cat, and he goes, well, that was adorable. I really wish I had someone who was a baby. Oh wait, I do. And so he pulled a video from 2013 when the cat was a kitten, and he had all the same video of the cat when he was young, so it was kind of neat. But yeah, it's kitties in slow-mo. That's the internet. Kitties doing stupid things.
Pretty much all kitties do.
Changeling. Changeling. Rules Equestria now.
Okay, so I'm thinking that's how it is. I don't have to worry too much about the exact positioning on the eyebrow cam anymore. I think it's just about the clipping. So here, there's enough clipping on this that you see it actually squeeze in the middle here. Don't want that. So we're gonna fix that part. That I need eyebrow cam for. Wait. There's also this part. No, whoa. Nice thing is she has so many fast motion bits that I can get away with a lot of this. So I think this is made to kind of curve around the back of the head, but if it's not pre-built to do it, it's just going to cause complications, so screw it. Okay. Okay, this again, we're just going to move it out a teeny bit. turn it in a little bit.
And always. Always.
Her Highness Princess.
Yeah, now and always.
Okay, yep, so I got floaty eyebrows right here.
Always.
So she's fine after she blinks. So this is from here to here. From here. No, that'd be, yeah, that'd be that. And then there to there. Okay. Get rid of floaties.
Always.
Oh no.
Always.
Okay, this might have caused some clipping. Nope.
Her Highness Princess.
Okay. How does it look for normal cam for left eyebrow?
With our valor, our blood, indeed we our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
That's so.
Equestria now. Equestria now.
Because it was from this angle where I said it comes to that sharp angle right there. Okay. How does that work?
And always. Not changeling. Rules Equestria now. Rules Equestria. Equestria now.
It's a little bit excessively floaty out here. So I think I'm just going to grab a larger area, see how it turns out. We're just going to move this forward. Or, yeah, forward. Rotate. Forward again. And actually, this one I probably don't need to worry about too much because of what's visible at this camera shot.
Rules changeling. Rules Equestria now.
Okay, so right at the end of this, it does disturb it.
That's anger.
Okay, this is. I'm just gonna grab this area and we're gonna just move it a little bit. Okay, but what is it? The angle's still.
Equestria now.
But it was moving fast enough. So it's not that great, but when you add in motion blur, you can't see it anyway. She's actually going, ooh, woo, woo, woo.
Oh no! Celestia's a furry. Yikes, those hairless monkeys.
Sounds like a Cubert moving or something.
Oh yes. I remember that game.
It's like, oh.
She's ready for bananas. Oh, Celestia likes bananas.
Why?
Because of that video from like the 2000s, early 2000s.
Celestia likes bananas because of a fan-made video? It's not official, though. She likes cake.
It's pretty, well, that is official.
That is official.
It's official. Which is a wonderful episode.
Her Highness
You see
Princess
her just
Celestia announced his plan.
destroying a cake.
Okay, when she goes backwards, though, I do not have her eyes doing her blink right here. I think for her right eye, it's fine right now.
Celestia. Announces. Princess Celestia announces. Princess Celestia announces. Princess Celestia
You
announces
didn't do anything with their eyebrow at this point.
Princess
I
Celestia
didn't really think you
announces
need to do anything with their eyebrow at that point.
Well, no, at this point, I'm not worried about it, but I still have to have her blink. So that's still important. But her eyebrow's a little bit curved, which means it probably has a little bit of surprise. Yep. So we're just going to take that out for the...
Princess Celestia announces plans for a counter-offensive against... Princess Celestia announces plans...
I think at this point she needs to be resolute, which means having her eyebrows ever so slightly curved downwards. Not angrily, just determined.
Celestia announces plans for a counter...
So from this angle, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. She's just face.
For a counter-offensive, announces plans... Celestia announces plans for a counter...
Oh.
Announces plans for a...
I had that done wrong. Like this.
Announces plans for a counter-offensive. Announces plans for... Announces plans for a counter-offensive against... Announces plans for a counter-offensive against... Yeah, announces plans... plans for a counter. Celestia announces plans for a counter.
So that's one eyebrow done.
Announces.
So that's one eyebrow done.
Well, the other one's like 80% done. Okay, brow cam. Uh-oh.
That's a hard one. She's got the hair. She's gonna have to be bald. No, gross.
Issue fixed.
She's gross.
So the only difficult part with this is it's hard to tell the difference between the eyelash and that, but
Her hair fell out. She just got too old.
no, she got no eyebrows either, or eyelashes.
This he does really look like a narwhal. That horn is just ridiculous.
Pony civilization, not changeling. Rules Equestria now and always.
She looks like she's gone a little too hardcore in the whole military lifestyle. that horn is made for stabbing. I don't care what you say. She's got a big sword on her head.
Tip 2, have you ever used alpha for overrides? Though the tip hasn't nothing to relate to alpha until the end. If you ever have an issue where you're in a file and like 10, 15, 20 minutes in or something, the bigger the file, the shorter the time, it just crashes and you cannot figure out why. And maybe even less than that, it could just be minutes. If you ever use alpha as an override, verify that there is a number here. If there's not a number here and it's blank, SFM will treat it as a 0, which is maybe what you're looking for to have it be, but it causes a memory leak. And so while there's no value there, it will work fine until it just doesn't. And I had a file that would restart every 2 to 3 minutes into every time. It was very consistent, and because it was very consistent, I knew that there was a memory leak. It just meant that it started up and there was something building in the background, and I could not figure out what it was. I spent hours digging around, and eventually that led to like, what could I change in here? Because I deleted all the models because it's about narrowing down issues. So I went through and I said, okay, I'm having those problems. So I opened the file. I selected half of the models that I had in here, deleted them, and then waited. And if it crashed, I knew that the error was in the other half. And so I just kept repeating that until I got down to a single model that when I deleted it was fine. And then when so then I dug into that model, and then I found that there was a missing number on an alpha. And I'm guessing it's not just alpha, I'm guessing anything, but alpha is the one that, because I just tend to put as the default 0. So if you ever have that problem, check your overrides. See if there's something floating around in there. Okay, so I know the one thing I'm going to do on this is left eyebrow. I just want to churn this way a little bit, because I feel like the whole time it needs to be churned that a little bit. And that actually will solve, I think, a lot of the issues. So at the beginning here, though, okay, until this point, I think all I have to do is push it in a little bit. Okay, and then from here to here. Wait, where is it? From here to here. pull that out a little bit. Nice thing is, after doing it before, I now know what needs to be done to fix some of these. Is this surprised? Yes, it is. Okay, so these need to be fixed. I've had a couple projects before that I was working on it for like hours, and then say it crashed, and so I used the autosave, and I either forget to save or crash immediately again. Well, once you load an autosave, it deletes that autosave, which I think is a stupid way.
It's kind of weird. What if it crashes twice in a row?
Yeah, that's why I think it's stupid. I feel that it should overwrite the autosave once it's done, but since it's going to create another autosave in 10 minutes anyway, I think once you quit, it will delete any autosaves anyway, which is fine. But I've done it before where if it crashes and I had a ton of work that I didn't save, I will sometimes go and select the autosave file, copy it somewhere else, and then I'll open it.
Preserve it.
Just because all the autosave is your VMT save file with just .autosave at the end. So, and there's also .back, which is also another version of the same file. But anytime I go, like say I spend 3 hours trying to figure out a shot, and I get the full shot exactly as I want it, and it's perfect, and then I crash and I lose it. That 3 hours isn't wasted. I think a lot of animating is just poking around to figuring out what you're looking to do and how to do it, and then once you know, you can just go forward. Well, once you go to redo work again, it's not going to take you 3 hours. It's probably going to take you like a half hour or an hour, or not even, to redo it, because half of it was just figuring out what the hell that you wanted to do in the first place. So the same thing here. If I did one eyebrow, and now when I look at this one, I'm not trying to fool around to poke it and like being like, well, how do I get it to where I need? I kind of already did that. So this is floating because of how I have this changed. Oh, actually this shouldn't. Oh, I see what it was. It's churning it. But now I need to move in, which might actually cause it to be an issue here. Yep. So let's do it like this. No. We might just keep... No, that's gonna be... I'm gonna do it like to there. Okay. I don't think I curved the other one as much as I'm trying to do this one, and that's what the difference is. Is this a visible eye? Oh yeah, very much so. Because it's like, well, I can't see it, who cares? Okay, so where does it start disappearing? Well, for one, when it hits floaty range, between these two positions, it needs to pull back in. Ever so slightly. That's too much. Okay, and then from here to there. So from there, then I'm guessing like this, we'll just slip it back out again. Okay, let's see what that looks.
With our very lives, indeed with our very...
So still some clipping right here, but other than that, it actually looks pretty decent. It's the real test is going to be shadows. So these are models. They're going to cast a shadow, which I wish they didn't. But because they cast a shadow, I have to make sure that I'm not
Hover.
If it hovers too much, you're going to see a shadow. Or even if it just comes up more than other times, certain angles it might do it. Kind of a weird bit, but whatever. Left.
Our very lives to ensure that ponies.
I think this whole time it's clipped. Yes, it is. From here to here. Let's do that for now. Left. This is one of those weird spots again. Okay. And from here to here. A little bit more. See, this is the greatest part about animating. Nitpicky, menial labor. Is actually I was watching Adam Savage on his Tested bit before, and he was saying, and he was talking about menial labor stuff, and he's like, no matter what you like doing, you could be doing your dream job, but the majority of it is probably still going to be menial labor, because where the things you like, he loves building things, but a lot of it is okay. I have to go and do this 70 times. And it's like repetitive stuff that a lot of the things that you want to do are going to have repetition, and they're going to have monotonous pieces. But that's just
paperwork. That's what I hate about my job.
But
paperwork.
But it depends on whether that paperwork is monotonous or not.
It is.
He's saying, well, no, he's saying about even something you love doing. The parts of it that you love doing are going to have repetitive things for it. I love animating stuff, but when it comes to this stuff, it's like,
I have to make cables sometimes, like connector systems, and I have to strip like sometimes 100 wires, put things on the end of them before I can put them in pins for connectors.
Yeah, that would be the menial labor I'm talking about.
I like that. I like making those cables. I just can't stand paperwork.
Well, you like brain shutdown moments because you don't like thinking.
Yeah, that's why I went into electronics. So I don't have to think.
Changeling.
But I do like when I'm tired. Yeah. If I'm actually awake, which is becoming rarer and rarer, I'm fine with the more difficult things. But if I'm tired, the last thing I want to do is paperwork. I hate paperwork. I want a job that has zero paperwork, but I'm not sure that job exists.
Depends what the paperwork is, though. I don't mind. I used to work. I did documentation. My job was paperwork.
I
did that for a year.
You can keep it.
No, proofreading and redlining are some of my favorite stuff.
To make an email. That is how much I hate paperwork. If somebody says, "Hey, can you email this guy?" My first thought is, "Oh." I don't want to write.
Because you don't want like the writing, or do you don't like communicating?
I do both.
I don't like emailing people just because I don't like communicating. I'd rather just be quiet and do my own thing.
Just leave me to my electronics and repairs and soldering and whatnot. You go talk to people.
It's your job. Part of your job, but it's even things you love doing are gonna impart some hate about it.
That's all I want. Is I want a job where somebody just like feeds electronics through a mail slot, and then I just give them back to them. Repaired,
they put it in there.
Questions asked.
They put it in there, and then like you grab their arm, and then they're like
And they pull back, and it's like, oh.
I'm thinking like in Borderlands, you'd be Crazy Earl. It's a door just covered in locks all the way around the outside. When you go up to it, it's a little slider, and he's like, "What you want?" He's like, "Just give me your money. Get out of here."
That's exactly what I want. I want to be Crazy Earl.
We recently figured out that Crazy Earl from the game is the head of Gearbox of the company. He's the one that voices Crazy Earl. And I'm like, they don't even sound the same. But no, he just actually plays that crazy guy part pretty well. Kind of an asshole, so it works perfect.
Yeah, he's just playing himself. He doesn't want to just lock themselves inside of his room for the rest of their lives and just not be bothered by anyone or anything. Unless they're there just like, they're there with the food. Then it's okay.
What do you want? I got the food you ordered. Leave it outside!
Push it through the hole and go away.
You're just like,
Yes, feed me.
Always.
I am extra lazy today. I need you to grab that spoon.
Always.
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces plan.
Okay.
There are days that I wish that person existed. A person who would just like put pizza in my face and open my jaw for me and just like move up and down.
Okay, so it's fine right there. But all the way up to this, it's actually floaty. Okay. I'll fix that one. We're gonna have slow-mo Celestia.
Red with our valor.
Everybody
Valor.
Missed a part here. Or strike. No, her eyes here, they go up right here. They go up a little bit, but her eyebrows don't.
I think the one thing that's been frustrating with my job, at least ever since this pandemic started, is people are just hard to get a hold of. Like, I had to call a customer 3 times and email them before I finally got a response. On a system I was trying to ask them a question about. Because everybody's working from home and they're being like half out of it.
One of the ladies I work with, I was talking with her, and she's like, "Yeah, I just like get up and I grab my laptop and my pajama pants and I just sit on the couch." I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like, that's not the work mindset. I would not be productive. I need to change. I need to start my day like a work day.
I know. I imagine you're a fairly rare breed in that respect. I imagine there's a great number of people who are working in their underwear as of late.
Well, it's actually one of the things that was recommended for working from home is they recommend that you still get up and act like you're going to go to work, because then suddenly they're like, okay, well now you have to go back in again, and you're like, I have to put on pants, and then you're just going to be bad about it, and you have to get up at a different time. I just try to maintain all the same habits I was in.
Me too. I was going to work and I got a little lazy because my boss wasn't. So. There wasn't a whole lot going on at the very start of the whole thing, though. Work slowed down immensely. I actually did get to read a little bit of the book today, though. Only a few paragraphs, but it's better than I've been able to do.
Our blood. Our valor. Our blood. Indeed, with our very lives. Our valor. Our blood. Indeed, with...
I saw that. And in the final, like when this is rendered, it's actually still visible. Sometimes, if it's clipping for only a very like 1 frame. Sometimes they'll blend a little bit and you'll get away with it. But
Do you have any cornstarch? Cornstarch.
don't think so. Why,
Darn.
are you desperately hungry?
I was thinking about making a pie. You like
Sugar.
yeah.
I'm not doing sugar now.
Just pretend.
No. You can make a pie. I'm just not gonna have any.
What's the
So you can have a pie.
man?
So you're saying you won't make a pie unless I have some. Then make a damn pie. You can have your damn pie.
I want pie.
You just said you wanted to make a pie.
It's different.
So you don't want pie. But if I said I wanted pie,
I'd make a pie.
then you still don't want pie.
No, not really.
Then why would you want one?
Make a pie.
You just want to make a pie. I mean, if you want to make one and then throw it away.
That's a waste.
But so you want to make one. You don't actually want one, but you want to make one. But if you did make one, it'd be a waste, so you don't want to do it.
If you're not gonna eat it.
That's a millennial thing. It's like that chip and dip problem. Like when you're like,
right.
I just ran out of. I don't have enough dip for my chips, but if I go get more dip, then I'll have too much dip for my, or have too much, not enough chips for my dip, and it's a cycle, and that's where you're like, you're not happy no matter what. It's like, well, get more dip. Well, now I have more dip, but I'm still sad.
There's gonna be a vanilla pudding pie, but they don't have cornstarch.
Indeed with our very lives. To ensure that
It's the whole point's mute without cornstarch anyway. Can't make pudding without cornstarch.
You can
to ensure
pick some up.
that
Nah.
pony civilization.
I think this whole plan is just it's over.
To ensure that pony
So when the eyebrow's right here, it kind of floats a little bit. Actually, you know what? Ha! Never mind.
civilization.
She's so cute. She looks much better with hair.
Civilization.
I should have actually done this to begin with. Figure out what it is that I actually need to worry about with that.
Changeling. Rules
I think
equestria
cats
now
would be cute if
and
they had hair
always.
like a on the top of their head.
And always. And always. And always.
I want to make toupees for cats. I think this is an amazing idea I'm having.
Where did that come from?
And Celestia's cuteness improved amazingly after you put her mane back on. I'm thinking, if cats had heads of hair like that, that would be pretty cute. And then I'm like, toupees for cats. It's
Yes,
a
because
business
cats
plan.
love when you put stuff on them.
They just have long flowing locks.
Well, wow, sorry,
A
after 8.
kitty with pigtails.
Always.
It's after 8, but I think I'm basically done with this now. Other than the audience, but I'm not going to bother doing that here. And then I removed her eyebrows for these shots. Those magical desks. And podium. And Luna.
Podium soup.
Oh, okay.
That kind of would make sense. It's just a versatile podium for different creatures, and it just lowers and raises automatically, like on a little thing.
Well, no, it would be for normal ponies and then Celestia. It'd just be like, oh, Celestia's. Oh wait. Oh yeah, so it's here. So yeah, it'd be like Celestia's going. And then it'd be like.
Bashes her in the face.
We must meet the threat with our valor, our blood.
Behold,
Deeds
podium.
of our very lives. To ensure
trying to
that
break
pony
out.
civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now
Our
and
D-tier
always.
podium.
Where's the bone for that?
Podium bone.
Oh, I have to have it.
Like the idea.
I have to have it selected prior.
Got the podium by the bow.
There we go. She's back.
Announces plans for a counter-offensive against the Hive, source of the Changeling invasion that destroyed the Changeling.
Okay, but that is it for today. So that is renderable, I think. So that is good. I'll have to do that at some point, maybe. Probably be a good idea to eventually do it. Okay.
Did you finish the eyebrows? I want to say yes.
I just said I was done with it.
I spaced out.
you just napped, and then you had to have your follow-up nap while sitting here. Okay. But I'll be I'll be back Friday, but probably working on something else. So.
Because that's mostly done.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do the wings,
Yeah.
but
You say you're gonna do that off screen, but then you see that
the
with
wings.
eyebrows.
The wings. If I did it cheaply, I could do that in like 5 minutes. So I'll do that later though. Okay, whatever. Have a good week. Have a kitty, and bye bye.